Chris and Paul present This Is the Topic. It's the adventures of two lifelong friends as they explore a new topic each episode. Join the guys for music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. I'm your announcer, Michael Foster. Now, here's Chris and Paul with This Is the Topic.
Number 15. Thank you, Foster. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Dude, I'm great. I can't believe we've hit 15 episodes. This is awesome.
It's amazing that we have had so many wonderful, wonderful episodes. But what is it you say at the end of every episode, Chris?
I say, I think this was our best episode ever.
I think this time it's going to be true. You want to explain why?
I do. So typically it's just you and I blathering on and on.
Yes.
Nobody cares.
Nobody does. In fact, your wife said that, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. She said, you guys are great, but if people don't know you, I don't know that they would care. So we've decided to up the ante this time.
Yes, we sure did.
And it's not just me and you blathering on and on. We've got a special guest blathering with us.
Yes.
Welcome, Elliot Threatt.
Oh, it's an honor to blather with you.
Oh, dude.
Take that, Joel Nichols.
Yeah.
Take that. And the weather's going to be hot tomorrow. See? Take that.
Yes.
Can I say I'm part of the blathering?
You can be. Yeah, you're absolutely part of the blathering.
The blather instead of brother, it would be the blatherhood.
The blatherhood.
The blatherhood.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So before we get into the format of things,
yeah, sure.
We met each other doing radio, right?
Yeah. You guys were the neatest guys when I was.
He used to drink a lot.
Scott Voorhees. Were you guys ever in the studio in Independence or just over at the new one?
The new one.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we had a show called Dialogue when we were in public service, both Chris and I. But it was when I was in public service.
Right, I
was whacked on the head and crazy.
Uh-huh.
And you were the midday guy?
I had the shift after Scott Voorhees. Sorry about that.
Hey, it's okay. It's a podcast.
Yes, no,
was it you
fuck
and
all you
Bob
want.
No.
back then?
I had I had a weird shift at 1510 because it was from 6 o'clock to sunset, which meant in July, right around now, it went to like 9:10. It was like a 3 hour, but then it contracted all the way. They had like a nighttime signal, so
like in February, you're on for 15 minutes.
My show was only on seasonally. My show was only on from like March to September. You know what I mean? Because of the daylight or whatever. So it was weird that way.
But we met each other that way, and then you, being the entrepreneur that you are, you had your own radio station.
I did,
and I said, "Can I do my public affairs show there?"
And of course, I said, "Of course."
Yes, all comedy radio.
Yes.
Really, if you think about all comedy radio, it invented Sirius with their stand-up comedy. It invented podcasts. It was way ahead of its time.
It was a precursor to Raw Dog and all of those other comedy stations.
And then I did the public affairs show there, and people laughed their butts off when they listened to that.
Yes.
Like, these guys serious?
Yeah.
Well, it's great because it's much easier to be a funny politician on a comedy station than a funny politician on a serious public affairs station.
It doesn't always play well there.
So you just blended in with the rest of us palookas.
Yeah, it was easier for me to be a funny politician when people could see me because of the looks.
Yeah.
But we stay friends. I appreciate that. And you're a famous guy.
Please.
Here's the thing. Here's a
that.
news story I heard just the other day. Okay.
Jeepers.
Oh, this
is from last week. This is from KMBZ. KMBC. That's a television station.
Okay. I don't mean to be. You're talking about the one from Fox 4 or the one from KMBZ?
KMBZ.
Okay.
Channel 9. Okay. Popular Casey comedian Elliot Threatt. I mean, we could dissect that one for a while.
Yes,
but let's just move on.
Yeah, really.
Celebrates his quote 57th birthday.
Yes.
We could
Other arm on TV.
We could dissect that one too.
Amen.
Okay. By buying lunch for the less fortunate. Now, the question is, are you referring to when you bought lunch for me and Chris last week?
Well, that was part of it. That was the extension. Actually, with you guys, it went to 59.
Yes!
That's right.
Now, you bought 57 lunches at Thelma's Kitchen. And the day before, you bought us lunch.
Yeah, or the day before, around that time, yeah.
So you always buy lunch for the less fortunate.
Well, here's the thing, because I've done this before. You you have a birthday, you go out to the plaza or someplace fancy in Leawood, and you spend $300 or $400, and you leave. It's like, well, I really didn't feel that hungry. I really didn't feel satisfied. Why did we spend all this money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'd been going to Thelma's Kitchen for lunch, and I says, you know what? I'm gonna, instead of doing that, instead of giving it to, Capitol Grill or someplace like that, I'm just gonna play it forward and bring all my family down to help.
It was very nice.
It was
That
fun.
is so cool.
And it was very nice that I got myself a steak sandwich. When
Exactly.
Bought me lunch.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you
Exactly.
get, Chris?
I got some delicious chicken tenders tossed in Montana sauce.
Well, you
which
would
is
know
so
that
good.
because you ate half of his after he left, Paul.
certainly
You know what?
did.
That's a fair point. I was trying to watch my caloric intake, and I heard that Paul took care of it for me after I
I'm here
left.
for you, buddy. I'm here for you. I'm
the
here for you.
best.
So I'm really glad you're here. I mean, the someone of your stature
Please.
visiting our little studio is great.
I had to beg to get on the show.
You did not.
I had to ask. You were perfectly content to take my free lunch and just drive back. And I said, hey, guys, hey, can I? Oh, okay, whatever,
If you want to know a lot about Elliot, listen to the Joel Nichols podcast. He actually does a good interview. We're not as good at that, Chris.
No, you're not on an upward trajectory going from Joel Nichols to this
Yeah,
podcast.
you may want to talk
But
to
you are on a trajectory.
You may want to talk to
Joel Nichols, very funny guy, by the way.
hilarious.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Hilarious,
He's got the wit of a comedian, and
Yeah.
he's just as sharp, and I've done interview. I mean, he's just like you guys. He's just really sharp, and he just gets everything,
Well, you're
and he
half
just...
right.
And, even before doing that podcast, I listened to him interview, Shannon Parks and all these people, and he's just hilarious.
Well, you know what is interesting is everyone listening to that, and we won't go into it, but just you're like me. You have deep roots in this town. I know, Chris, you have deep roots in Independence more than Kansas City, and you can tell stories about what your family did,
Oh, sure.
and it's impressive.
I mean, your dad's got a street named after him in Kansas City.
Martin Luther King Jr., not Junior,
yeah.
stayed at his house.
Yeah, ate at my house.
Well,
No
okay,
way.
Same
yeah.
thing. Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Were you there?
Yes, I was. I was alive. I was about 4 or 5 years old at the time.
Yeah.
What was it, 1960?
That's
And
it was
crazy.
actually about a week before he met his got assassinated.
His
And you
untimely
probably were just
demise.
thinking,
Wow.
who's all these guys in my dad's
Not
friends?
a I wasn't
gotta-
aware of anybody. I mean, are you aware of your father's friends when you were 5 years
No,
old?
no.
Just
You're like, I'm trying to watch.
if you have continuous contact,
Captain
you can-
Kangaroo.
yeah.
Right.
Howdy doody.
I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I was at the Negro League Baseball Museum, and Bob Kendrick, a very nice guy, and everything like that. He reminded me that my dad was friends with Satchel Paige, and I went, "Oh,
yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot
my
about
gosh.
that."
Wow.
And then I remembered. I'm like, yeah, he used to go. I used to drop him off over at Satchel Paige's house, and he'd hang out for. I was like, of course, I don't even remember this now because I was busy trying to be a comedian.
Yeah.
But what's impressive about you is that you had that history of your family, and you went on. You're a successful comedian, a successful entrepreneur. You have great kids. I mean, you're a
Same
story
as
that
you, sir. Same as
you're
you,
a
both
story
of you.
people need to hear about, but maybe not on this jackassery
No.
type thing.
Let's just have fun.
Yeah. So, Chris, I mean, let's get to it. Let's do what this is all about. I mean, why don't you tell Elliot
I'm
and
excited.
anyone who's ever listened, because people are listening now.
I'm excited.
Listening for Elliot.
Well, yeah, for Elliot.
Okay.
I mean, they don't care about the setup
So
of this show, but
that-
let's talk about it.
The one time that you're listening to us, folks, this is how we do the
Okay,
show.
let's hear it.
Okay, so the way we run this show is I have a purple sack in front of me,
Right. And
and there are a number of topics.
and he's always playing with the sack.
I
Yeah,
do. Well,
exactly.
I like to jiggle it. And so there's a number of topics in here on different pieces of paper. I pull a topic out,
I love this.
and then we just talk about that
I
topic.
love this.
And what happens when we talk about people? They're laughing. Sometimes they're crying, but they're always touched in
Always.
a different way.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, shouldn't I be able to pull it? I've got the
Yeah,
honor.
yeah, let's do the guest poll.
poll.
Yeah. Stick your hand in my sack, and
All right.
let's see what comes out.
Ta-da!
Ooh, okay. All right, this week's topic, hobbies.
Oh,
Good.
Hobbies.
It's an excellent topic.
So, first question, do you have any hobbies?
this is a good point because I was talking to my I have a good friend named Dave Caius, and he has poker and golf. And I I have no hobbies, and I've actually looked on the internet, hobbies for older men, ham radio. I was like, okay,
yeah,
you had me at ham, but you lost me at radio, right? I just be, what's your hobby? Ham, and they expect radio? No, just ham.
Just ham.
Well, I guess putting together this studio for me has been a hobby, but I've been, usually working on.
It's a great hobby.
Just like you. I mean, you're working on your career and doing stuff, doing all kinds of different things, but it's not really a hobby.
Well, it is a. Look, I was looking forward to doing this. I mean, I marked it off today. I mean, there was the fun thing I had to do today, but I don't have. You're right. You know how those other people just can hardly wait to go golfing?
Yeah.
Hardly wait to play golf.
Yeah.
I can't do golfing.
Thank you.
Because it's outside and it's hot. I don't know if people have ever noticed that.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed that, for the most part, men's hobbies are a way to get away from their wife and to drink a lot. Fishing, hunting, golfing.
Whoring.
Yes. Most people have been offered douchebags. But
right.
Just
For me, I just go to the bar and drink. I mean, why? Just stop the middleman and go forward.
Well, but I have to admit, I am envious of these people who have a hobby that commands their obsession, and I can't wait to the links. Oh, you know what I mean? Or I can't wait to do, and just the way that they all love bowling on the Big Lebowski. I want to be like, you know what I mean? How
it would be
your
great,
role, dude. Your road, dude.
To be that passionate about something.
Your role.
Yeah.
Anything.
So you don't have a hobby either, Chris?
This is the closest I have to a hobby, is coming to your house in the KCTK studio and doing podcasts.
Yeah.
God, other than that, I mean, I work out a couple of times. I don't know. That's not really a hobby. I don't... I got nothing.
Let me ask you this, Elliot.
Yeah.
One of the topics, and kind of relates together, we've done before, is free time. And we noticed when I have free time, I don't do anything. So maybe this kind of ties into what you're supposed to do when you have free time is a productive hobby. You don't have one, you say.
Well, here's the
so
weird
what do you
thing.
do on free time?
Here's the
what
weird
do you do
thing about that is that, my brother brought this up because I was doing something with coffee last week with VCP, but I never drank coffee.
At Blendwell.
Yeah, Blendwell, another coffee place. And I never drank coffee, and my brother just said, well, Elliot, you never had to get up and be any place. I mean,
wow.
Interesting.
What a blessing.
Yeah, but I mean, in my whole life, because I was a comedian since I'm 18 years old, and so 40 years I've never had to actually be anywhere, and I thought I've never had to. So coffee is the kind of the motivation, kind of the fuel that gets everybody a jump start to do. But if you have no jump start, I mean, I never had any. Plus, coffee was always something to do when you worked, right?
True.
Let's go on a coffee break. Let's grab some coffee and everything like that. Yeah. And if you never had that, I never did, And
when Chris and I were employed together, we would have coffee. Mm-hmm. We'd work, I don't know, an hour or so a day, and then coffee around that.
Is that so? You guys both drink coffee then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I drink coffee a lot now.
I'm totally addicted.
Yeah.
Do you drink it black or?
Well, I mean, you're giving me the racial question, so I'm really worried now.
Exactly.
I don't want to be Joe Biden.
Blended, yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah, my father said you got to learn to drink coffee black because sometimes there's not going to be any cream or sugar around. I said, okay, Dad. And that's the show.
Wow.
See, that really fell off the end of it, didn't it?
Well, so I can't.
Chris, please pick it back up, please.
I can drink my coffee black, but I like to monkey around with it. I like to put the creams and the sugars and the flavors and all of that and dress it up a little bit.
How's Blendwell's coffee?
Blendwell has delicious coffee.
Is it good?
Yeah, I think it's brought to you by the Roastery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I do my coffee plug while we're at it?
Mm-hmm.
I own drink coffee.
You own a coffee shop.
I own 2 coffee shops in the Newark airport, and but we were giving free coffee to Veterans Community Project. And
how nice is that?
And Kathy Quinn came out the other day when we kicked it off, giving free coffee to other people in tiny homes, and we did it all on TV. And, so we get all the coffee in there, and they poured me a cup, and I realized this doesn't have the requisite amount of sugar, cream, and whatever, the caramel and whatever I need to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just black, right? And it's like everybody's just, it's like, oh, God, it's TV. The salud. And
so how'd you do it?
I just took a sip, and I just acted through it. Of course, my wife saw it on TV.
It?
She said, my wife and kid said, "Did you drink that coffee?" And I went, "No, I didn't." I didn't drink that.
So do you do energy drinks or anything?
What's your beverage of choice?
You know what my self-indulgent beverage is not to get too stereotypical. I love grape juice.
Really?
Here we go.
But that's full of sugar, so I don't try to do that. So what I'm trying to do now is just I love what kind of tea is it? Pure leaf or whatever, the unsweetened tea.
Yeah,
that's
you know
good.
What I mean? Yeah,
it's delicious.
Not unsweetened; it's diet tea, and it's just tea's the most consumed beverage in the world, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, you learned something new on the show.
Isn't coffee your hobby though? People are obsessed with coffee and beans and everything like that, and I respect it.
Yeah, and
people are obsessed about coffee the way people are obsessed about golf. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They just start jonesing. I gotta have my coffee.
See,
I gotta have this.
To further answer that question, I like espresso. Just to even make it more.
Yeah, I know.
A little tiny cup, shot in a day.
You like?
We sell those at our place too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, love it.
Not an espresso guy.
It's even more powerful than regular coffee.
It's more powerful and just a little too bitter for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the same thing of drinking coffee just like doing a Red Bull, just a different consistency and color, same amount of caffeine, same amount of.
I don't think there's as many chemicals though.
Yeah, I don't think coffee gives as many heart attacks or aneurysms as Red Bull does.
Yeah.
But I guess, God, I don't know how we got on this, but yeah, coffee may be the closest thing to a hobby.
For Elliot's free time, he helps people. He buys them lunch and then helps the veterans.
Wow.
No, I don't.
Wow.
No, I don't. No.
What would we do in a free time before here, Chris?
Before the podcast?
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah, right.
But not coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're so pathetic.
Pathetic.
No. The thing about and I actually have a cousin who's a roaster. He has this in Richmond. He has a place called Carytown Coffee, and that's where I learned about it. He would roast the beans in this big old antique thing, and it was just amazing how you roast them and then you put the flavor in and you keep on doing everything. It was very intriguing. I didn't like coffee after that, but it was intriguing to watch. So that's really nice. Can I have a grape juice?
So Elliot, would you say you don't drink coffee? You've got a lot of entrepreneurial stuff going on. So is comedy sort of your hobby now?
Excellent point. You know what? A comedian named Dobie Maxwell at Chicago says what comedy is now, the way you work, is basically a glorified hobby.
Interesting.
And I am so lucky that I kind of took this divergent turn maybe 30 years ago and decided to get in the business, because I always said, I don't care if I'm famous, I'm just going to work for myself, because had I not done that, the sense of urgency and about all the comedy work, because it's diminishing. I know it's comedy goes like blockbusters, but they're kind of like blockbusters. You know what I mean? It's just, it's hard. They have to be run very well.
So let me ask you this: Are you a comedian that does entrepreneur stuff, or an entrepreneur that does comedy?
Comedian always does comedy stuff. Comedian does business stuff.
I mean, how do you view yourself?
Comedian does business stuff.
Okay, comedy first.
Comedy
always,
first.
Always. This is from 18, of course.
So in, let's say, 50 years, Elliot passes away. Okay,
I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks.
It'll say comedian first on your.
I hope so.
Or maybe father or spouse, but
comedian before all those other things. Definitely.
Okay, that's dedication to the craft.
Yeah, but the great thing about comedy now is, are we going out? Is this what the music?
No, I'm just playing songs you can think about.
All right. So here's the thing about comedy now is that I'm very nostalgic. It's like that I'm winning an Oscar and you're playing me off here. La La Land.
Oops, Moonlight.
Moonlight, sorry about that. The thing about comedy is now I appreciate every different one. First of all, it's booked differently now, completely. It used to be I would have a booker and he'd call up a club, hey, you got to do Elliot, he's really good. You got to do Mike Ciccone, David Nestor, they're really good. But now they book it like Expedia or so a booker in a non-existent place says, okay, we have a one-nighter in Topeka, Kansas that pays $500, and everybody in the country sees it at once. Everybody puts in, and then the anonymity of his laptop, he decides who should work the club. But then again, you can't really put it on him, because what he does...
Does he go on YouTube and watch him? Or?
Well, no, what he does is he says, all right, I've got all these comedians. And he goes to the client and says, look, I've got these 10 comedians who I think are good. Pick them out. But here's the weird thing that happens with that. So let's say there's a gig in Kansas City. He says one that pops up in Kansas City, right? So I said, well, I'm here. I'm going to apply for it. I should get this. I'm right in town, right? Pays $500, whatever. So it pops up, and the client shows everybody in the community. Here's Elliot in Kansas City. Here's Bob in St. Louis. Here's Jim in Chicago, or Maureen in Minneapolis, whatever.
She's funny.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's hilarious. But the person in HR thinks, well, geez, I got a $500 budget. Do I want to tell my boss that I got a comic from Kansas City going to rep the street? Or do I want to go? So regardless how funny they are, I'm going to get the guy from Chicago because I tell my boss, hey, I got a comic coming in from Chicago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if this comic isn't anywhere near funny. In fact, the comic's probably less funny because he's traveling further for less money.
Yes,
Because I wouldn't do that.
$500,
Yes.
yeah.
But it still sounds good to say, hey, I got a comic from Chicago to come to Kansas City, or,
See the
Knob
thing there,
or
Chris?
Manhattan.
Yeah.
See, he's too well known to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
But you or I could do Paul Vincent from New York. They
Well,
don't
that's
know.
all you get. Pick a big city.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay.
It's,
We're going to game the system.
But when I do the clubs, I'm very nostalgic about it. I mean, I take all the pictures, and when I go to these towns, it's almost like traveling abroad. I never eat at the I go and look at the Food Network and say, where's the place that this town is known for? Where's the Dixon's Chili of St. Paul, Minnesota? Where's the this? And that's where I want to go. And I want to soak up all the experiences because when you're north in the 50s, it's like, well, this might be the last time I do them. Not only for my own self, but this club, this genre might not be around.
Where
that long.
did you go that was like the most surprising, cool place?
There was a club in Rapid City, South Dakota, a guy named Paul Weller runs it. I'm still friends with it. It was just so much fun. It took forever to get there, but it was just super fun. Rapid City and Fargo. What is it? Jerry Seinfeld says, have you heard about Jerry Seinfeld's theory about the comedy jet stream?
no.
Where the best comedy...
What's the deal with the jet
Yeah.
stream?
The comedy...
I'd like to know.
The best comedy clubs in this comedy jet stream that goes over San Francisco, through Minneapolis, through Chicago, up through the East Coast. It's like a jet stream that goes... So the best comedy is up north. Now, there's a reason for that. It's because people up north are kind of closed in. And I think it's, it's more... They're more... I don't say they're more artistic, but let's just say that...
Autistic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think they're just more...
It's more of their culture.
It's
right?
more culture, yeah. I mean, you look at Louis Anderson and Joe Hodson and all these people that came from up around there. But it seems that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that way. But anyway, so I like to go. So those special towns are, I always had great shows in Moorhead, which is actually Fargo Moorhead, kind of like Kansas City, Yeah,
I'm all for Moorhead.
exactly. And don't tell me that joke hasn't been done in that area.
Yeah,
forever.
heavens to Betsy.
Just write them on.
What?
And then nearby, let's bring it closer. I used to do shows at the Elms Hotel in Excelsior Springs.
Oh, fun.
They had comedy there?
Yeah, well, when I come up there, it would be a special event, and it was just always kind of a place where they had to generate their own stuff to do, right? And
Yeah.
it was always fun because all the people, they were from here, that's where Truman went when he found out he won.
Right.
as
And
you
then went
remember.
to sleep.
That's right.
Yep.
That's where the coach for the Buffalo Bills, I think. Not the Bills.
Marv Levy?
No, the guy who was coach with the Saints or something before the guy who coach or somebody.
Yeah. He was
I
there,
don't know.
though.
Vernon Dozier? Is it?
Exactly.
I don't know who that. I don't know.
Buddy Biancalana?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
just kidding.
okay.
Nah, just Royals River. But yeah, so those little towns and everything like that, and sometimes you just want to leave it and not go back because it's like seeing these comedy clubs is kind of like you ever visit an older relative and you have that foreboding that this might be the last time I go to grandma's house
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Hi, Mom.
I have that feel that. Yeah. I had that feeling. You go to the club, they're selling hard candies.
Yes. The bowl of hard candies that aren't wrapped and all stuck together. Good God.
Now, have you thought about? I mean, this is work, but you write a book.
I never thought about that. I don't think anybody would read it. I mean, I don't think it's...
I'd read it.
I think my comedy
I
experience...
got no hobby.
I would
I'd read
wait.
it.
I mean, honestly, I'd wait for Audible, but still, I would be
Yeah.
a fan of it.
I wish I had something relevant to say, like all those other comics do. But I think a lot of. But the one good thing about comedy is that I kind of jumped in at the golden age of comedy.
Right.
When I could see when I was doing one nighters with Dice Clay and Steve Harvey.
Wow.
And
What do you think
Robin.
is the biggest difference now with comedy?
It's so hard now. I mean, and they're less funny. You know, I don't want to say that, but they are.
Is it because there's more people now, or has the craft just kind of unraveled, or what do you think's happened?
Well, I don't think first of all, they have, I mean, what's going on now is bringer shows. That's what they do.
Okay.
Like, you have to bring your friends, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can perform, but you got to bring your friends. But the bad part is that they're going to put you in, and you have to sit. Your friends have to sit through 8 other people, and they charge them high for drinks. It's like, okay, I want to see Paul perform, but do I really want to drop $85 for all my friends to see Paul on Innocuous Tuesday night?
Yeah, you don't like Paul that much.
No, who does?
Not that much, yeah.
It seems to me that like audiences have changed. Like in the past, they would all laugh at Robin Williams, but now when I'm up there, no one's laughing. And I feel like
it's
there's
totally
something wrong.
the audiences.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
You've
Hold
nailed
on.
it.
I performed with both you guys, and you guys did... And you guys did well, and I think you guys are you're pretty much comedy teases, because you get in there and you do a little performing, then you pull out. You pull out.
A comedy tease.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the greatest compliment I've ever had in my entire life.
No, you went there, and you guys both did very funny when we worked at, what was the place working in Lee Summit?
Tiff and Jay's?
Yeah, Tiff and Jay's.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you guys have always been funny. It's like, I performed with you guys on 3 or 4 different occasions, and you guys did markedly better than the open micers I see, or the people who
Did you say markedly or marginally?
Well,
Either one.
Either one.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, the story is that when they had the Laugh Olympics one year, we both competed. Chris got first place, and I got second place.
It's true.
So you said, let's stop.
And
Yes.
no,
Let's stop on the top.
No,
I'm out.
Chris won the contest to meet an agent in L.A.
Yeah.
and he brought his friend Paul with him. And so we go out there to L.A. Mm-hmm. I call it La La Land.
It's your
Call
thing.
whatever
It's
you
what
wanna
you
call
do.
it. And the agent was
it
like,
was it a really agent?
the agent.
You have to take off your shirt like Jennifer Beals in Fame.
Well, Chris met with him. I would have done that. But basically they said, yeah, if you want to succeed, just come out and move out here.
A Fame reference. God, that is great. And that was my favorite scene in the entire movie as a youngster. Yeah, one agent would not meet with me. They had a secretary come downstairs,
busy.
and I gave her my VHS tape. And then the other agent called me up to his office. I think he was
Really?
with
What
Gersh.
agency is this? Gersh?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And I handed him my tape, and he said, I'm going to do you a favor. And he took it, and he dropped it in the trash can behind
That
him.
was nice.
It was super nice. And he said, I'm not going to watch this right now. You're in Kansas City. You're not going to make it in comedy in Kansas City. Here's what I will tell you. If you will move to L.A., hit open mic for 6 months, then I will come and watch you in person, and I will tell you honestly if I can work with you or not. So I had a little baby at the time. I couldn't move to L.A.
And I don't want to push back against that agent, but the thing is that there's 2 kinds of comedians. There's these L.A. comedians that do all that stuff, but they can't monetize because they go out to any place else. They go out to Kansas City. They got 12 minutes of material. I always like the school of thought where you take the road comics and they get really tough and their teeth are really sharp and they get out to L.A. And sure, they're doing all that, but at least when that call does come, they can do it. So many comics, they get that one big break and then they can't do anything because they're suck comedians. TV doesn't make them funny, right? And,
Well, I think just like anything else, it's got to be, you got to have that drive. I mean, you look at Mike Baldwin or you look at Tim Gaither, all these guys
Tim Gaither,
that were doing open mic when we were doing open mic.
And they're very good headliners. And if they got a TV show, they would be able to make their, because they were a comedian, they just happened to get a TV show.
But what's wonderful about those guys is they have stuck to it, and you too, and have made money off of it. They live off it. They get to live. They get to do what they want to love. Do what they want.
No, but
they get to do what they love, and they make money off of it.
Yeah, but the thing
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing if it was like that. If we had a time machine, DeLorean could go back to 2000 to 2005, maybe. But the fact of the matter is that
it makes it tougher now.
Well, we're like comedians are like polar bears in the climate change, and you're just looking for another iceberg.
You're just on that ice, moving around.
And the ice is the next club, and you have to swim further and further and further to get to the next club. And it's just getting harder and harder.
It's a great analogy. So the floats just keep melting.
Yeah, the floats are comedy clubs, and they just keep on melting. And
with your big, dumb polar bear feet.
Yeah. First of all, at a comic club, there's 52 weeks in a year, right? So they've got the same 35 comics they're going to hire every year. Then they have the same 10 famous people, the specialty acts that they're going to get in and everything like that, the Dustin Diamonds, the whoever.
And then what's the Stormy Daniels?
Stormy Daniels, yeah. You got to compete with Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
So they only have 2 or 3 weeks for new people. And this
Dustin Diamond?
industry is, Screech.
Yes, I know Screech. Is he good?
I don't know. No, he's not very good.
Okay.
He's the guy I'm talking about. He's the guy
Yeah. But he's known. So.
Well, and what does that do? Because I was so envious. I used to work with Mark Price when I was younger. You know who Mark Price is? Well, he was Skippy from Family Ties.
Oh, right.
And believe me, that was a big swing and back in the day. And
what? He performed on one of the only times he ever got paid as comedian. I was the MC.
Yeah.
Stanford's and Son in Overland Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was the guy. He was the main guy.
Headliner,
and I never got to talk to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know, but remember that he was, we tried to get a better rent-a-car reservation, but this was back when the show. So now, what happened is that skippiness has kept him from maybe doing what otherwise be the rest of his life, and he's
still Skippy.
Well, like Tom Wilson, you know him, right? I know him, very nice guy. Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh, right.
So imagine being known for the rest of your life for something you did for 1.5 years, 25 years ago. And he said, it's funny because the one thing that makes you famous will wrap it around your neck and drag you behind it for the rest of your life. And he said that.
It's like marriage.
Yeah. Imagine not being able to eat anywhere in life without somebody saying, sorry, without anybody saying McFly. Right?
Yeah.
McFly,
yeah.
McFly, I mean, that's just kind of the way
I know, but you look at the other side of it. He's in some bar right now telling some girl who he is. And he's
have to explain to her because Back to the Future came out 25 years ago.
Well, okay, that part's
Ask your
true.
mom.
Your grandma loved the movie.
Yeah. I work with John Lovitz. We all know who he is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I remember we were going to. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. So Lovitz loved to go to Twin Peaks. There's a Twin Peaks in El Paso, right? So we went to the same Twin Peaks and sat at the same table. And the girls didn't recognize him the first night, so we just ate and everything like that. And then the second night, they all huddled around. And I said, so I asked the girl, he says, well, I know who you are now. Our moms told us who you were.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. God.
So your moms. It's like, okay. And he says, oh, I haven't been on regular TV since 1990,
Yeah.
too. I'm like, oh, my God.
Was he with his girlfriend? Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan Finn has the ticket.
Oh, goodness.
They remembered him from Benchwarmers, the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, wow.
Sandler produced it, I think.
With John Heater.
Yeah, was Benchwarmer? Yeah, I think he was in that. And the other guy, I forgot the other guy's.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I never saw that movie.
But at the end of the day, But as far as comedy is concerned, I'm really lucky because I still can go out and I don't even like the headline clubs anymore. I just like the feature because that's the best spot of all. I was a feature act last week in Cedar Rapids because I had to be up there anyway. I have some airport stuff up there, and there's a foreboding.
Wait. They have an airport in Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, CID, Eastern Internet. Yeah.
Have you never seen the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Cedar Rapids.
No, I've never seen that movie.
It's a good movie.
Oh my
Actually, I have. It's a great movie.
Yes.
So when I used to perform as a headliner and all the time, and it's like there was a sense of foreboding because here I am, I'm 57 years old. I got to cover 45 minutes to an hour. I'm not concerned about it, but I know the guy who's featuring, all his job is to try to get in front of me and do everything like that, and he's got aspirations, and I get that. But that means I have to up my game just to keep, if as a feature, I don't want the headliner's job. I've already had the job. It's just a warm, comfortable, and, my friend says, well, what are you going to do in your acts? Like, I don't decide till I get up there. I only got 25 to 30 minutes to do. I just pick and choose my head. I don't need to end up. You have to sequence everything.
Years of experience.
Yeah, well, you know how you have to sequence everything when you're headlining and everything. Like, I got to be ending on this joke.
Yeah.
And I have to do this tag here, as opposed to I can just kind of fly around and just wherever I'm out, I'm out.
And you've got years of actually working at something to pick from.
Yeah.
It's always funny when somebody comes up and says, I love when you did this bit. And it's like, What? I love that bit. And it's like, oh
what
my
is it
God.
again?
That's a great
Yeah.
joke. Who wrote
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I remember this one guy, they said, Elliot, I want your beach ball bit. I went, what beach ball? Oh, that beach ball bit. Can I say the beach ball bit on there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was, I just tried to be as getting your girlfriend to do that was like trying to keep a beach ball underwater. And I was just... And I was like, oh, I did that. Sure, you can have that joke. I don't remember that joke, but you sure can have it, you know.
That's great. And you did not even have to say at all what that is, and we all got it.
There's an idea for you. A comedy show of just punchlines.
Just punchline.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the feature guy is nothing but setup. And then the headliner is
some of
nothing
these you
but
don't need setup.
punchlines.
What do you mean wrong hole? The golf joke.
I mean, Chris, you did it the other night. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's not my finger
actually,
either.
Yeah, that's actually the setup to the punchline. Yeah, really. The Gomer Pyle joke. That
Yes,
was the
and why was it Gomer Pyle? Why was it Gomer Pyle and Luann? I never knew that.
Well, you know, when I would perform, I would say, you know, when you just make a cultural reference and it gets nobody, you know, it's like, you guys Marianne or Ginger people, which for the longest time, everybody locked in and knew exactly what I was talking about. And Marianne or Ginger,
Not so much anymore?
nobody knows what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, well, they're young. They're not supposed to know.
Can
what it
you
is,
do
right?
a Friends, maybe? Phoebe, Rachel, or I don't know.
I haven't watched. You know, I'm black. I've never seen an episode of Friends.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
that a
You guys weren't allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about?
That's
yeah,
right.
We had
Yeah.
Living Single.
Yes.
Which was
Yes.
only on for a year and a half.
You're
Nowhere
just
near as
Queen
good.
Latifah or
Yeah. You're just
Tootie.
drinking.
I was
Yeah.
going to call her Tootie. Kim
John
Fields.
Hinton. Yeah, all those
Yeah.
other guys.
You're drinking grape juice watching
Exactly.
Everybody Hates Chris.
Living Single is only on for. You know, I've never seen an episode of that or The Big Bang Theory. Are they good?
I don't watch The Big Bang.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm a big fan. I love sitcoms. I like
Yeah.
and joke. It's funny, you
I
know.
don't like sitcoms where they don't have the laugh track in them, the Big Bang, because you
They had
have to know
studio
the laugh,
audience.
like the Community. Remember Joe
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
Where
Yep.
you had to know the joke, or Curb Your Enthusiasm, where you have to know the joke is there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the writing is so good, you don't need to laugh to prompt you when to laugh. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to laugh.
I'm
here,
watching
you know?
myself an old Leave It to Beaver, and that laugh track is awesome. I love it.
What is it, the joke that every time you hear a laugh track on an old sitcom, you know those people are dead now?
People are dead.
Oh, they're all dead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's a hobby we can have. Just to tie it back around.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Can we do a show sometime?
Sure.
We'll call it This Is the Topic Show. I'll host. Chris, you tell a story.
Sure. That's what I do.
And then of course, you come and headline.
Yeah, I'd like to have a hobby. I mean, this is I enjoy doing radio. You know the great thing about doing radio? Do you have all your old dialogues?
I do, yeah. I
Okay.
do.
I have all my old shows, and you know, it was like 3 hours a day for like 5 years or something. But what I liked about it was the opening part, and you probably did this if you listen to your dialogues, where you just do the chit chatter and everything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And you think, well, you know, my kid just went into daycare
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other thing, and it just is a snapshot of your life. It's long before Facebook and everything like that, where you had a snapshot of what you were doing and what was going on in your family this
Yeah.
time and
Well,
place.
for me, it was public affairs stuff, and I'm listening to an old one, and I am worked up about some budget item that I don't even remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how could this governor, who was like 3 governors ago, do such a thing? And you're like, who's that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Which governor was it?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But how
Nowadays,
worked up
if
I
it ain't
was.
Governor Stumpy, I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tie it back in the local. So when did they knock Blended out as a sponsor, though? That's what I want to know. The Governor Stumpy.
No, that's right. Yeah, this show's brought to you by Blendwell.
Yeah,
Right. And Governor Stump. So okay, folks. We're announcing it right here. There's going to be This Is the Topic comedy show. We want you all to come out.
Oh,
so
I'd
So
love
we're
stay
going to do this
tuned.
like live.
We're going to do this live,
Yes!
and we don't know what the topic's going to be.
We never
folks.
know.
Well, you let somebody from the audience pick the topic out.
Okay, we'll do that. It'll be. And
We
people
need to find a venue. You see, the type of venue what this,
Everyone's welcome to come here, I guess. But
here's the thing:
we can do it out.
It cannot be. We talked about this when I bought y'all lunch.
Yes.
58,
I saw it on the
59
news.
lunches.
You bought poor people lunch.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
exactly.
you.
Maybe they weren't poor. They were needy.
Pay what
They
you
were
can.
needy. They
No,
needed lunch.
Pay what you can. That's the first. So if you only pay $2, you pay $2. If you're,
That's so nice.
big pimp like Chris, you pay $20.
Yeah, I didn't pay nothing.
So we need to find a venue, right?
Yeah.
We need to find a venue that isn't a comedy club because it's not. This is kind of a passive yet attentive type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it needs to be somewhere in
Okay.
between a comedy venue and another.
This is what we're
place.
gonna do. Okay, you ready, Chris?
Okay,
Roll
I'm
play.
ready. Okay.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, hello.
I'm looking for a venue.
Yes, we're a venue.
Elliot Threatt is involved in this project.
Wait, I'm sorry. The Elliot Threatt?
Yes.
Yeah, bring your show here.
We'll come when we want to.
How about that?
Okay, we've
that's-
role played. We know how this is
That's
gonna
all.
work.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Gosh.
When are
But
you
I think,
available?
I think it might be a place, to have that advice. If it's done right, it can be very attentive, not obtrusive, just
Right.
like in a
we-
like a coffee shop or
It could be a coffee
or especially
shop.
a restaurant.
Tiff and
'Cause we
Jay's
don't
won't
want
be, but we
anybody-
could do
yeah.
a Tiff and Jay's
Yeah.
performance
Tiff and
again.
Jay's would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to do it at a place where there's somebody like you
That's true.
at the
Why are
coffee
you
place.
I
pointing at
do
me?
not want him
when
there.
you've got all the stuff. And
Oh, then
can
I've
you-
got my, yeah, I
and
look
you have
like
7
it's,
conference calls and everything
yeah.
like that. And
I've got my NASA set up.
Which reminds me,
Yeah.
everyone, listen to this.
like Thomas Dolby in concert with
Listen to "I've Got Something to Say" with
Blinded
Chris
with
Whiting,
science.
so you'll know what they're talking about.
Yes, listen to that. So we've referenced Marianne and Ginger, Thomas Dolby. I mean, I hope you're at least 45 if you're listening to this show.
Right.
Good Lord.
And if you are, you're saying, "I'm too young. I don't understand what they're saying."
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So it's, I don't know. I feel like.
This is the topic as
Sorry about that, folks. I was at the wrong one.
Good timing.
So anyway, I feel like,
You know,
Well, this was fun.
yeah. Not only was it fun, Elliot, I feel like it was our best show ever.
Well, I think when I get back from out of town, we need to figure this out. We'll do this off air. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll take it off air.
We take it off air and we talk. Yes, whenever they say when they go to commercial.
now
Yeah.
we've been broadcasting on Facebook Live and also kctk.radio12345.com streaming, and I'm going to send this podcast to you. If you
Please
put it on your Facebook so
I
people
will.
can listen
Definitely.
and they can subscribe and
I've
enjoy.
said nothing incriminating, have I?
I don't think so.
No, but I am going to edit it and make it sound.
Well, there you go. That's
Horribly incriminating.
good. All right, let's do it.
So what do you think, Chris?
I think this is our best show yet.
Oh,
15 is number 1.
there you go.
This is the Topic has been a KCTK production, produced by Chris Whiting and Paul Lavoda. All rights reserved. For more information and content, email us at kctkradio@gmail.com. I'm your announcer, Michael Foster.